What is up, tubers? Tio here, Simplistic Fishing, coming back at you tonight to take a look at Lake of the Arbuckles out in Oklahoma. We're going to start out here on the Arkansas Wildlife Conservation page just to kind of get some details about this lake. Lake of the Arbuckles is a 2,350-acre reservoir formed by the impoundment of Guy, Sandy, Buckhorn, and Rock Creeks. It's approximately 8 miles southwest of Sulphur in Murray County, Oklahoma. It was constructed by the Bureau of Reclamation in 1967 and has a watershed of 126 square miles in south central Oklahoma. Arbuckle Dam and water levels are managed by the Bureau of Reclamation, and the recreational access patrols and lakeside facilities are managed by the National Park Service. That's great information, but what kind of fish do they have there? Well, if we scroll down here, we got some pretty cool little fish catches over here to the right. You can watch while I'm talking, but fish species of interest include largemouth bass, smallmouth bass, spotted bass, white bass, black crappie, white crappie, channel catfish, and our good old bluegill and sunfish. So now that we know a little bit about the lake, let's jump over and take a look at this on Google Earth. I'll show you guys how we broke it down, kind of some of the things that we found really quick, and then we'll finish off moving over to the Simplistic Fishing mobile app and taking a look at some of the offshore opportunities that this lake has to offer. So let's do it. Let's jump over, take a look at the Google Earth side. Here we are out on Google Earth, and what I want to do is kind of take you guys through the breakdown here, and then like I said, we're going to switch over to the mobile app and look at some of this offshore stuff. Let's take a look at it from the left side. We're going to look at it here and just show you real quick how we have some things broken down. First off, attractors. There could be more fish attractors on here, but this is the attractors that we could find from the Oklahoma Conservation Department. So we've got a couple fish attractors back there. You can see them. We got one back here in this cove back here, which actually on this one, when you look at it, when the water's drawn down, it looks like this river channel or whatever this is has pushed those attractors over a little bit. So if you're looking here, you may want to look more off to the side right in there, and that's going to be probably where your brush pile, cedar trees, something like that they probably put there. The other one is actually down here over to the right. It's way back into this big flat as well. Kind of looks suspicious to me. I don't see a lot of attractors there, but maybe there's one there now, or maybe it's actually moved. The water's possibly moved it over to this area. So if you're here, just kind of scan around, see where you can find it. Looks like maybe they're not weighted down good or something's going on. I'm not sure what's going on there. All right, next up, we've got bridges and culverts. And by the way, I'm looking at this from an image from 2016, and that's when the water was way low. So if we're looking at this from today's image, that attractor's clearly out here in the middle of not in the middle of the lake, but it's a lot further out than what it looked like on that last image. So don't be confused when we're looking at it back in 2015, 2016. I'm looking at when the water's way down for a reason. All right, we've also got bridges, culverts, and drains. We got a couple of them over here. We got a couple culverts that are out here. We got bridges that are out here as well. And the cool thing is now that we have Navionics put in, or we're going to have it hopefully here in a couple days, have the contours put in there, they actually show the bridges and culverts too. So even if we missed one, or maybe you want to fish one that's deeper than what we've marked, you'll see them all out there now when we do the contours. So I'll show you guys that when we do the offshore stuff. Channels and ditches have quite a few channels here. Like if you look back in here, there's some pretty juicy stuff, right? Some really good looking channels. There's another good looking channel right here, nice little bend. Come back in here, we've got a good bend back in here as well. And always looking for those places where they bend or where they meet other creeks. If you can find where they do either one of those things, you're usually gonna have some success. Big bend right there as well, right? And remember, if you're out there now, that bend's out here, right? A little bit off the bank, just kind of follow the channel. You'll find it. You'll know when you get there because you'll see it on your graph. All right, next up, we got cover and structure. Not really a ton here, right? I mean, we've got some laydowns, we got a couple other things, but the key things here for me were these ponds. These ponds look really, really cool. So let's go up and let's take a look at like this pond right here, right? If you're out here normally, you're probably not even gonna realize there's a pond here, but there is a pond here and it looks actually pretty juicy. So let's draw it back to 2015 and you can see. So now you're thinking, okay, where do I fish in the pond? Do I just go here and fish in the middle of it? No, not really. Your best places are gonna be on the inside part right here and this outside edge right here. A lot of times you'll get them right there, or if you find a pond that has an opening, right there where that opening is, like if this one had an opening right here, that opening is always some of the juiciest stuff you can find. So we got a couple ponds, right? We got another pond that's up here. That one's not as established as that other one, but it's still pretty good, at least the pond dam isn't. And then there's another pond down here that almost looks like it was on the bank. So we'll have to pull the water up. But we got another one here, but not much of a pond dam on this one. Little bitty pond dam, but you never know. So it could end up working out. There's when the water's up. So some pretty cool stuff to look at there. All right, sorry, I'm making you dizzy with this moving back and forth. That's really the main ponds that were there. I think there was another pond. Yeah, back in here, there's another one. This one doesn't have much of a pond dam though, so not sure how good that one will be. That other one that I showed you, those two up top, look to be the best ones. And then we've got some laydowns and stuff like that, but nothing too crazy, so we won't waste the time going through that. Now, this lake also has foundations. And if you guys have heard me talk about it before, these house foundations can be really great places to fish, especially when you get them offshore a little bit off the bank, or if you're in like a summer to fall transition like we're in right now, where maybe the fish aren't out deep anymore, but they're not shallow either. So where the heck are they? Well, they're like right in between, right? They're somewhere in between that shallow and that really deep. You just got to find them. Well, a lot of times these foundations are up in that shallower water, and they can be really, really good places to find. Of course, then again, you have foundations that are way out here in the middle too. But these house foundations that you're seeing, these can be critical if they're still there. We picked all these up from Navionics. I don't know if we had any here that we could visually see from the mapping, but we picked them all up from the Navionics mapping that we have and marked them for you. So check out these house foundations. They can really be critical. Now we also have offshore hotspots. Now, offshore hotspots, they're actually marked from looking at the contour line. So like I said, we're going to switch over to the mobile app here in a minute, and I'll show you some of this offshore stuff. We won't go over every single waypoint that we have, but I'll give you a pretty good explanation of all the different stuff we have out there from the offshore side, because really on this lake, I think this is going to be critical. To fish offshore, get off the bank a little bit, not way far out there, but just get off a little bit or fish in those channels. I think you're going to have a lot more success there. Then we've got ramps and slabs. Not very many of them, just a couple different ramps that are here. And then finally the rock. Now there's not a ton of rock on this lake, but where I did find some rocky spots look to be pretty dang juicy. So let's go like down here, out here by the, I guess that's the dam or some kind of wall. But I really like this area right here, right? You got really good rock surrounding all around that area. You've got some really good points that come out there that just looks like a really good place that you can go out and have some success at. You've also got this flat down here that looks really good. You can see it's got a really nice point to it. It's got some really nice rock off of it. This whole area right in here just looks to me to be really juicy. There's some secret stuff over here too, right? You got some really good rock in here. When you get on these lakes that don't have a lot of rock, when you can find those rocky spots, they are killer spots to find, especially in the wintertime or in the springtime when they're doing their migration to get back in the back of places. They'll stop in these rocky spots, especially earlier on when it's not warm yet, because those rocks will actually collect heat. And of course that collects the bait fish and that collects the bass. So pay attention to these rocky spots. A lot of times it's hard because a lot of lakes will have a ton of rock, right? And then you got to figure out which parts of the rock are good. But this lake's pretty easy. It's pretty straightforward where all the rocks are, right? You got some really good rocky points here. Right here as well. This kind of looks bluffy almost to this area. Some really good rocky points around in here and like right in here. All this stuff right in here, right in there. So some really good rocky areas. Not a lot of them there, right? You just got a few of them here and there, but some really good rocky areas. All right, let's go ahead and switch over now. We're going to switch over to Simplistic Fishing mobile app, and let's take a look at the offshore stuff that we have on this lake. Now we've switched over and we're actually using the Simplistic Fishing mobile app in test mode right now, but hopefully this will be out here in a few days, may even be out by the time this video launches. But we're going to look at this from the contour perspective. And what we've done is we've actually partnered with Garmin, Navionics, for them to provide us with the contours into our app, which is super, super cool, because now when we look at the offshore stuff, we know exactly why we marked them as offshore spots, right? We go here, we look at some offshore stuff, we can tell why we did it because we can see those contour lines. So there's a lot of different offshore waypoints out here. Obviously you can see it shows all the waypoints, not just the offshore stuff. If we wanted just the offshore though, we could go up here and filter it and we could say, you know what, just show me offshore. And when I do that, now all I gotta see is just offshore stuff, right? So I want to point out a couple things here. I'm not going to show you all the offshore spots. It'll take us all night to go through that kind of stuff. But I did have a couple spots here that I really wanted to point out to you. So let's start up here. I love creek channels. I think you guys all know that. If you've ever paid attention to me or watched any of my videos or watching even the fishing, you'll notice I stay close to creek channels. They are good places for me. So I really like this area up in here, right? Like this one to the far right, That one looks really good. This one right here. And the reason why I like these is because they're on bends, right? I like where they're on the bends. I also like anywhere where this channel comes out and touches, maybe like right here, where it comes out and touches this flat that's over here. Oops, sorry. Comes out and touches this flat that's over here, and then it's just kind of right off there. You might have some ledges that are out there, all kinds of good stuff. So you definitely want to scan in there because that's that main creek channel that's coming down that you can see there. So that's one of the spots, or a couple of spots I saw up there. Now I didn't see a couple more spots up here that I liked as well. Talking more creek channels, right? It was right out in here. I like this little bend that's out here. I also like this little point that's right here. I like how it has the nice flat top on it, and it's got that channel coming really close to it. I think you'll have some success there. You could also have some success right here off this point where you've got a channel that's coming right around. The contours don't look as good, but the fact that there's a creek channel right there kind of changes everything. And then there was one more spot down here that I think you should check out as well. So if we get out here, this one's maybe not as obvious, but you can tell there's something going on here. So I really like this area right in here where I marked it as offshore. You may also want to come over here, check out a little bit further out, or go further in and maybe look at kind of where that 14 is, kind of looking around that area too. That could be, you notice there's like a little bit of a flat top there, and that could be pretty interesting to fish around as well. Let's go pick out one more spot down here for you guys. Let's go up here. I like this. Check this out. Long extended point, got a nice hump on the top, and then as you get farther out, you're only at a 17 foot when you get out to the end of that point. Somewhere on that point, especially in the fall, it's going to be a really good area to find some fish. So that is a few of them that are out there. Obviously, you've got all these out here that we've got them marked. It'll take forever to go through them all, but hopefully that gives you guys some ideas of some areas to go out and fish on Lake of the Arbuckles. If you guys want these waypoints for your graphs, you can always go out to simplisticfishing.com and download the digital files, or sorry, purchase the digital files. I'll email them to you. Or you can get the SD cards where all the files are already on the card. You just plug it in your graph and off you go. You do your import. And then last but not least, you can always purchase the Simplistic Fishing mobile app. We've got the lakes out there, $9.99 a month for actually $9.99 for 30-day access for a single lake. And then if you want more access after 30 days, you just repurchase it. Or you can purchase this entire region, which is huge, right? This entire south region includes all the lakes for $19.99 a month, and that's a subscription that'll just keep renewing for you. We're going to continue to add more and more lakes. We have a ton of Oklahoma lakes out there, a ton of Arkansas, Texas lakes, Louisiana, a lot of lakes in this region. You can see up here, I'll take you to the top. These are all the states in the region, so it's going to cover your Oklahoma, Arkansas, Louisiana, and Texas. That is a lot of lakes, guys, and we're making really good progress. You can see over on the Google Earth side when we were talking about it, you can see all the Oklahoma lakes that we already have in there. If you have some lakes that you want us to break down in Oklahoma, go out to our website and request a lake for us. That way we know you're looking for it. And until next time, guys, I hope you catch your PB. Take it easy.